So I'm on board a Central Line service. I'm leaving Chigwell and heading for the Underground's very own Burning Valley station. And there is a big gem at the station, which I'll talk about as we get there. So here we are. Welcome to Burning Valley Station. Now the thing that makes Burning Valley extremely special is that this is the Underground's least used station on the whole network, with it receiving only 0.37 million passengers in 2017. And the station clearly has no one, and clearly demonstrates how lifeless this station is. But it still has all of the few modern amenities that you can find within the station. We'll go and explore those now. And I'll tell you the main reason why it's least used. Apparently the next train on the Hainault bound platform says special. So you still have dot matrix indicators. You have litter bins on both sides, which are slightly blowing in the breeze. But Burning Valley is one of 12 stations on the network which does not have any ticket barriers because it's too small to fit them. Which is quite odd. And see, you have to tap out in and tap out using these validators. And this station can actually be easy for like any fare evaders who just need to get in the station without having to tap in, which can be a bit risky, or very risky. I mean, and trains on this part of the Central Line run every 20 minutes. And you notice on the timetable there are some trains which are highlighted in red that actually head through Woodford and head to Central London via Stratford. And there are 3 in the morning on Monday to Fridays. There's 3 on a Saturday and 1 on a Sunday as well. Yeah, and the E and the R represent Ealing Broadway and West Ruislip. And you notice, and you hear that whine of the trains. Well, those are the trains that are heading along the main line, coming to and from Epping. But Rhoda Valley is one of 12 stations on the network which does not have any ticket barriers because it's too small to fit them. Which is very odd. Used. And the station is a eerie and lifeless view. There are the trains which are heading towards Epping. And they call it Buckhurst Hill Station, not far away from here. And actually, Buckhurst Hill offers direct services to Central London. Hence why this station is more least used. And also the station is located in a really sparsely populated area, which is another reason why it's least used. And this station has a eerie and lifeless feel to it. Here's another ticket area. And you notice it's too small for any ticket barriers. So there are only validators here to tap in and out. And you notice on the section towards Chigwell, the line then just gradually descends and then heads on a viaduct, which I'll show you later. And here's the history poster. And the station was opened in the 1900s, the Great Eastern Railway, as a halt, but in 1936 it was converted into a full station, and then it was converted to be used by the Underground in 1948. You see from these pictures here how it changed over the years. So these markers are just social distancing markers because of COVID-19. And over there is the junction of where the Epping branch and the Hainault Loop meet up again. And there is another train. And I think this is an empty one, so it doesn't stop here. Yeah, this is an empty train. It says Hainault via Newbury Park for some reason. And those clicks you can hear are actually the tracks and the signals which control the tracks, or really the other way around. You can see the Central Line train going deeper into the countryside. And it looks like one carriage when it viewed from far away. And then it heads on the viaduct. There's another Central Line train heading for Epping. So I just heard a status announcement saying there's a good service on the Central Line, but it isn't because there are minor delays due to a faulty train. But it does not affect us in some sort of way. And the next train on the Hainault bound platform is in 4 minutes. And then after this train, we'll head towards the viaduct. And the roundels here, the lettering is a bit thicker rather than the usual roundels you see, which I think is lovely. So the station is step-free because there are entrances on both sides that connect to both platforms, but the footbridge actually connects both platforms, but the footbridge is not step-free, but it does provide another advantage to cut between the neighbourhoods. So for anyone who's coming from the southern neighbourhoods up towards Buckhurst Hill, you would need to cross this footbridge in order to get towards Buckhurst Hill by foot, because there is no other option, whereas the second option is like just under the viaduct. Can you hear the slow clickety-clack of a train? And that is the Hainault service. Why is the last carriage so grubby on the outside? Literally, there's graffiti on there. Yep, see, that's graffiti. Right, there's the train for Woodford.
Customer service updates at Rolling Valley Station. Apart from today's planned engineering work, we have a good service on the Central Line and all other lines.
No, there isn't. And then the train merges with the main line. Yeah, and this station, in my opinion, feels like a quaint countryside station on a rural branch line. Like, literally there's like no one here, if the station is quite quiet. Yeah, and the station at night feels a lot like a ghost town with barely any trains. And in fact, until 2006, services on this part of the Central Line actually ended at 8 p.m. It's like about dinner time, which is quite odd for a metro service. And even the tube here just runs into the countryside, like, which is actually one of the only metros in the world to be so, to run a metro-style train into a countryside area. Yeah, and here they still display the full map, huh? And the Central Line maps are actually one of my favorite in-carriage maps of all time. Yeah, and the station is step-free if you, because there is a ramp here. And you see the main station building of Roding Valley. And this is why the announcement lies to us. A reminder that it's on the Central Line today. That does not affect us in any way. And there was a strike that was meant to take place on the, actually on the 6th of October, but that got, suspended again. Like, no reason. And from the footbridge, you look down into the quietest of nature and the station right in front. And what you can hear are just planes, occasional planes in the air, and birds in the trees. And here is the other end of the station. we're now walking towards the viaduct, and we're going through this parkland here. And then you cut through this field here. It's quite good. And I think above there is the Central Line. So now a fact about the name is that the name Roding Valley is actually quite accurate, because there is a small valley here, and then the river that flows through the trees here is the River Roding. And so the River Roding cuts through the valley here, hence the name, Roding Valley. And then we head through these bushlands here. And then you can hear the Central Line when going above. And then up there is the viaduct. And here is where the viaduct is. Here is where the viaduct is. As you go under the bridge, it's priceless. And it echoes in here too, I think. Yeah, it does. Here is the station building of Roding Valley again, and this is on the Hainault bound platform. Right, so I will head over to the Woodford bound platform to get my train towards, obviously, Woodford, and then I'll change there and get a Central Line train directly back. And what I mean by that is just get off at Stratford, because I have a really cool video in the works soon. And also at Stratford is where I'll change onto the Elizabeth line or the Jubilee line, depending on which one works for me. And there's also an entrance on this side here, and it leads out to that road there known as Cherry Tree Rise. And here is the Cherry Tree Rise entrance of Roding Valley, and here is the ramp for step-free access. And then this is also the entrance, which does not have a barrier because it's far too small. Here. So here is the waiting room on the westbound platform. And what's really cool about this is that the labyrinth is tucked in here. It's number 157. That's part of the 2009 Tube Challenge. here is my train, which I'll take towards Woodford. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time for the next episode.